Hello Capricorn, welcome to 5th House Divination. My name's Kirsty and today we are going to do a yes-no reading for you for April 2021. So if you have a question that you can get a yes-no answer to, whether you ask the question in April or whether it's something you're curious about, whether it's going to happen in April, then hopefully this reading will give you an answer. There's 8 cards in the reading in total, so there's 4 possible answers: yes, soon, delayed, and no. So that will give us the answer to the question, but it'll also give us some information around the answer and why the answer is what it is. So do pay attention to the story around the answer, just to make sure that this reading is sort of about your situation. If this reading doesn't reflect your situation, then obviously it's not for you. So please do check out your other sun, moon, rising signs. There may be something there. And also, if you're asking specifically about love or relationships and you know your Venus sign, then do check out your Venus sign, because Venus is the representative of love and money in the astrological chart. So let me just get another. I need to get 7 cards for you to go with this one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And okay, so scoop these back up together. So the underlying energy for your reading, Capricorn, is the King of Pentacles. So this could be you turning up in your own reading. This is earth energy. The kings are generally the fixed signs, so it could be Taurus, could be Virgo, but as I said, it could also be you. For me, I must admit, I've always found that the kings resonate with me more with the cardinal signs. I never really understood why they allocated them to the fixed signs. But this card, it talks about somebody who is self-made, who is very good at using and directing their material resources, which to me sounds very Capricornian. So anyway, so let's pop this one in the deck. So what we're going to do is we're going to get four cards of 2. We go yes, soon, delayed, and no, and then we go back round. Again, so we'll end up with 2 cards. Where the unknown card with the crystal ball on it turns up, that is the answer to the question. So yes, we've got the world. So what is happening in April 2021 is there is going to be some kind of closing out of a cycle. Something that you've been in for a while will be closing and ending. You've kind of learned everything you need to learn, and there is some kind of moving on. Soon we've got the 3 of Wands. The 3 of Wands talks about cause and effect. It talks about your ships coming in and sort of the feedback from something, a previous action, and the result and the consequence of that coming back to you, good or bad. In the delayed, we've got the 10 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Pentacles talks about at the 9 we've got material abundance, we've got self-sufficiency. At the 10 we've got it's kind of above and beyond that, it's legacy wealth. It can also be the things that we inherit from our family, from our ancestors, in our DNA. And in the no position we've got the 2 of Swords. So if we go back round again, yes, we've got the Chariot. So there's going to be a swift movement forward, closing out. Soon we've got 3 of Wands, 8 of Swords. Okay, that's a kind of a feeling trapped or feeling stuck. Delayed. So there is some kind of delay to the question, the situation that you're asking about. There is a delay, and the delay is around this 10 of Pentacles. So the 10 of Pentacles talks about resources and an abundance of resources, or as I said, this could be some kind of inheritance or some sort of legacy. And then in the other no position, we've got the 2 of Pentacles. Okay. So Guys, this is nice as it's a Capricorn reading. We've got lots of pentacles, so there's a lot of earth energy here. There's a lot of information about our tangible world. So this reading is going to be, I think it's going to be very much about our natural resources, things in our life that we can touch. I'm so sorry, I've just seen that glare on those cards. That we can touch, taste, feel. So this is very much talking about the sort of, there is something practical. As I say, this is about resources. So in the yes position, so what is going to be happening in April is that there is some kind of closing out of a major cycle. A part of your life is ending. Some sort of situation. This could be a job, it could be a relationship, it could just be a way of thinking or doing or banking, or the World card is the last card in the Major Arcana, and it talks about the closing out of a major cycle. So this would have been, you'll be aware of whatever this is, because this will be something that's been probably around for quite a long time, but this is a major sort of ending. This is something quite big in your life, a part of your life, finishing, closing, and you're going to be kind of moving on to something else. With it, we've got the Chariot, and the Chariot talks about swift movement forward, because there is an integration of two things. It talks about two things coming together, them being combined. It's like sort of the stars aligning kind of thing. There's two things coming together, aligning and pointing in the same direction, and that is then giving you that sort of swift movement forward. So it could be, I don't know, it could be wanting to retire, say, and then all of a sudden your work comes along and said, you know what, we're looking for people that are going to retire, we'll give you lots of money if anybody wants to volunteer. That's like a kind of a cosmic alignment, as it were, but there is some sort of closing out and swift movement forward. So this ending, this closing out could be happening quite quickly. It could also be quite what's the word, I'm not even going to try and say it, but sort of fortunate possibly. But I'm thinking, looking at the other cards here, I think there is going to be some kind of delay, or some kind of, I think this is going to finish, it's going to close out, and then you're going to be sort of possibly left waiting for something. I think there's going to be a sort of a closing out on your end, and then you're waiting for sort of what comes next. There is something that you're waiting for to come in, I think, to replace this. Because at the world, at the end, when the world comes in, there is then a new beginning. We then go on to the Fool, we go on to the start of the next new adventure. And with the Three of Wands and the Eight of Swords coming in, into the soon position, the Three of Wands talks about, as I say, it talks about we take action at the two. We do something specific, we decide a course of action, and then we reap the rewards, or the kind of the karma, or the comeback, or whatever the consequences are of our actions. But it's generally seen as a positive card, because it's like your ship's coming in, so it is a reward for the action that you've previously taken. It's some kind of growth that's been inspired by the action that you've taken. But it's coming in with the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords is an energy of thinking. It's a mental energy. So this is actually talking about the mind. But it's talking about feeling trapped in a situation, feeling stuck. But there is a limited perspective, a limited ability to see the true extent of the situation. And a lot of the time this is thinking that we're trapped because we think we are. If she was able to sort of wriggle her hand free and move her that sort of blindfold, she'd see that she could actually quite easily just walk out through between these swords. But there is a perception of being trapped. So it might be a feeling possibly of you might feel trapped because of the action that you took, because of this sort of closing out possibly of a cycle and the speed at which it moved forward. You're then sort of sitting there, kind of twiddling your thumbs, waiting for whatever it is to come in, and you're sort of stuck. It feels like you feel trapped, possibly feeling trapped until whatever this new thing is, this reward for the action that you've taken, waiting for that to come in. But it's funny because there is swift movement forward, and then there is in the no position we've got the Two of Swords, and we've got the Two of Pentacles, and the Two of Swords talks about making a decision, understanding what the truth is of something and moving forward with that. And then we've got with it we've got the Two of Pentacles. Sorry, you can't see that because of the glare. With the Two of Pentacles, and that talks about the juggling of two things, of keeping things afloat, keeping things going. Could be two separate two jobs, home and work life. So there is no so in April it could be that you're waiting for some kind of decision, or that you need to make a decision, but there is no decision coming forward. At the Two of Swords, we're weighing up the two ideas, two thoughts, two communications, and trying to understand what the truth of this is. And I think, with this 8, you're stuck. So there may be what it is that you're waiting to come in. It may be some kind of clarity, mental clarity possibly. The 2 and the 8, the 8 and 2 make 10, and the 10 of Swords again talks about an ending of something. So I feel as if there is there is a movement forward, there is a closing out, but there is an energy of not making a decision and not keeping things going, if that makes sense. I'm not sure that makes sense. But if we say we've got this King of Pentacles, so this is talking about our resources. So it feels as if there is a choice that's not forthcoming. So we don't know whether we're going to keep going or that we can keep going. So there is then this delay. In our situation, the situation that you're asking about, there is a delay in it resolving itself, and it is down to this 10 of Pentacles. This feels very much as if it's about money, or possibly a job or a career or something. There is something practical, something that we're not keeping going, or we don't know if we can sort of carry on or continue, because there is a decision about whether this is going to be continue or not. I'm hearing sort of support. I don't know what that means, but so yes, so there is a delay to the 10 of Pentacles, and this 10 of Pentacles talks about, at the 9 we're self-sufficient, at the 10 we've got legacy abundant. Sorry about that, there's someone behind me making a bit of noise. Okay, so so the 10 of Pentacles, then it talks about legacy abundance. This is either things that we inherit from our family, from our forefathers, or this is us creating wealth to an extent that we can then share it with other people. So there is some kind of delay to that. That is the answer. So we're waiting with this in the delay position. There is a feeling of waiting for something else to happen before we can do whatever this card is talking about. So I think the delay, so we've got it here, waiting for something to come in, feeling trapped. I think for me it speaks of some kind of decision. I think we're going to be waiting for some kind of decision that is about continuing or carrying on or juggling resources in a real sense. That decision is not going to be made, or that clarity is not going to be forthcoming in April. It's not to say it's not going to happen. I think we're just not going to get an answer or a resolution to this situation in April, but you will be closing out your last cycle. But I think whatever it is that you're expecting or that you were expecting to replace it, there is going to be a decision that's pending that's not going to be made in April. So I hope this makes sense to you. It should make sense to whoever this reading is for. As I say, if this reading doesn't sound like your situation, then please do check out your other sun, moon and rising signs. I'm really sorry about this glare on these cards. Do check out your other sun, moon, rising signs. If it's about money, then also check out your Venus sign. There may be something there for you. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Cheers guys, bye bye.